All right, Cassidy, thank you so much for being here on the All Bets Are Off podcast today. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm doing real well.
So I want to jump right into this because we were kind of chatting before I started recording here, and you're actually about to shoot a music video today when we're done with this. So can we get into that? Could you tell us the song and the video that you're shooting?
Yeah, of course. So we are actually shooting. I'm not sure exactly when this is going to come out, but we are shooting our new music video, which is called "Nothing Left to Lose."
Hmm.
And It's probably the track that I'm most excited for on BitterSweet. It's actually, yeah, it's going to be a really fun shoot, and there's a bit of a storyline to this one as well. It's very influenced by a certain movie that I grew up on and loved. So
Hmm.
I can't wait for everyone to see it. It's going to be such a fun shoot, and there's a couple of my female friends are going to be in it too. So it's going to be a bit of a girly shoot today. So I'm really looking forward to it.
That's awesome. Well, let's talk about "BitterSweet" a little bit since you just brought it up. There's
Mhm.
already a few songs from the record that are out and available right now, and a couple of music videos as well. Um, but before you even get into that, let's just tell everybody, when is the album fully going to be released?
Yeah, so BitterSweet is going to be released on the 21st of November, and I'm so stoked. There's so much happening behind the scenes at the moment in regards to the album. Obviously, I've just dropped that I'm going to be releasing 2 vinyls as well, which with this album, we've never done a Cassidy Paris vinyl before, so I was stoked about that. All the merchandise is dropped on Frontiers as well, so it's really exciting to have such like a cool catalog of merch that people can buy and support and wear to the shows. I'm really excited about that. And, everyone on the team worked so hard to get that perfect. And yeah, the new record, there's so much coming for next year, so much touring, and I just can't wait. I'm so excited to play BitterSweet live.
That's awesome. And I want to talk about, I mentioned that there's already a couple music videos out and you're doing one today. Are you the brainchild behind the music videos?
Yeah, I like the theories and like the not theories, the themes behind the music videos. I always think of it's actually usually myself and my mum that come up with the themes, but we've been trying to get really inventive and excite. I like think of really exciting themes for BitterSweet, and we had that even recent with a recent shoot. I did like a police officer little like skit for the Getting Better song release, and it was very themed for specific reasons and trying to obviously put out a message that I felt like I needed to put out to people after what happened. And yeah, I'm just super excited for people to see this one because it is literally one of my favorite movies of all time, and I hope people see the connection. I think they will. So yeah, it's going to be super fun.
So you alluded to, playing these songs live and touring and things like that. So we have to, of course, talk about the Monsters of Rock cruise because you
Yes.
will be on that. So, I mean, aside from performing on the cruise, is there anybody that's playing on the cruise that you personally can't wait to see?
I am so in shock. Even like seeing my name on that poster with some of those artists, it's actually kind of wild to look at. I always say that, like, as a fan, Monsters of Rock Cruise is something that, like, me and my parents always discussed going on like a family holiday because we're all into rock music, and just going on the cruise. So when Monsters of Rock reached out to me, it was like, of course. And like, I was so excited when I got that opportunity. And I can't wait to see people like Lita Ford. It's going to be so much fun seeing her. And obviously, I like grew up on Lita Ford and the Runaways and Joan Jett. So that's going to be fun. I can't wait to see Nelson. The Darkness. I've seen The Darkness a couple of times in Australia. So I'm really, really chuffed to see all those people on the cruise, and to be able to share a stage with them is just pretty wild to me.
That's killer, and I am personally looking forward to watching you perform on the cruise.
Thank
So,
you.
yeah, of course, and I got to say, so you just mentioned that your parents are fans too. So, is that where you found your way into rock and roll? Was your parents?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my dad is the guitarist in Cassidy Paris, and I think that Yeah, I definitely kind of found my feet in rock music through my dad, and he was playing in bands my entire life. Like I remember we were talking about earlier this week that I was sitting in like a high chair watching my dad play at like Hard Rock Cafe Melbourne as a kid. Like there's so many memories, and even like obviously a little bit more recently when I was 16, like I remember going to a festival and playing on stage with my dad, an electric set for the first time, which was incredible. So that kind of to be able to have that kind of bond with my dad is really special, and that experience I'm very grateful for.
That's awesome. So who, aside from your dad, your parents, who were you really, like, inspired by when you broke into rock and roll, when you were like, "Yeah, this is what I'm gonna do"? Who were the bands that were, like, at the top of your list?
I think Hailstorm was a huge one for me
Mm,
growing up. I've got the poster in the background over here. But yeah, no, I think Lizzie Hale was a huge one for me to see like such a powerful woman in rock, like owning the stage. And she's such a powerhouse in so many ways. And I just think that was really fantastic for me to see as a young person. And obviously, it's a very male dominated industry, but I think more recently as well, we've had this kind of like resurgence of female fronted bands come through, and that's really exciting to be a part of that. Hailstorm, I love the Pretty Reckless, so Taylor Momsen
mm.
was a huge one. I mentioned Joan Jett, Lita Ford, Pat Benatar, all those kind of artists like I grew up on. Soraya, I also grew up on Soraya.
Mm.
Like there's so many that I took bits and pieces from, and I think with that I kind of made my own image and found my feet myself, which is really cool.
It sounds to me like you were just, like, destined to do this. So, now that you're doing it, how old were you when you actually were, like made the conscious decision, like, "No, yeah, I'm gonna be a rock singer?"
Thank you. I really appreciate that. That's a very nice thing to say. I think that I have always kind of wanted to do it. Like I even like grew up on, not that this is it was kind of like a rock star image thing, but I loved Hannah Montana growing up. So Miley
Mm,
Cyrus was like a huge person that I looked up to, and I remember there's videos like of me when I was younger jumping on my bed or like and singing the Hannah Montana songs, and my mum will like come into the room with a video camera. So I think that it's something that I've wanted to do since I was really a really really little girl, and but making like a conscious decision, I think when I was probably 9 or 10, Paul Lane, for people that are familiar with Danger Danger, the Defiance, he came out to Australia for the first time, and my dad's band were the backing band. And I kind of expressed an interest to my dad a little bit earlier on, but Paul Lane was really the one that took me under his wing and mentored me in a lot of ways in terms of songwriting and performing and just life in general. Like he'll even tell you now, like he gives me the best life lessons, and yeah, I'm all ears, and I'm such a sponge to whatever he has to say because he is literally a musical Mozart, and yeah, he's the rock and roll Mozart in my eyes, and he did
mm.
so much for me, growing up in the industry, and guided me so well. So I really appreciated that.
So when we're talking about, your new record, "BitterSweet," I know that it's coming out soon, but, uh, you strike me as the kind of person who never stops writing. So even though this record is finished and coming out, are you already working on the next releases, like, for upcoming releases?
Absolutely. Yeah. As I was saying, like I had the pleasure of working with some fantastic people on this record. And earlier I was talking to you about the fantastic David Julian. Like I also had the pleasure of, Steve Brown had a big hand in this
Mm,
record. Which I'm a huge Trickster fan, so that was really exciting to me. I had Dragon from Roxas, for people that are familiar with Roxas in Australia, and the States as well. I think Roxas did a bit in the States.
mm.
Yeah, like Paul Lane obviously had a big part in it. Like there are so many different people that were involved in this record, but I'm so lucky because, like you said, like I'm never at a standstill, and I try to, keep the ball rolling. And I'm already writing. I was writing literally the minute this record was done, and I think for me, it's not about just obviously like putting out music. It's also about, for me, it's like very much a healing thing. And obviously I went through some really big events recently. So writing is definitely like my outlet to, you know, get all my emotions down and out in like a musical artistic form.
So if let's say that somebody who's never heard of you is going to listen to you for the first time, and you know you're putting out Bittersweet, and you hand it over to them, and they say, "I have time to listen to one song." What's going to be the song on that record that you go, well, then make sure it's this one because that's going to tell you who I am?
I think it's really difficult for me, but I think at the moment it's Nothing Left to Lose.
Mm.
I just love that track so much, but a very powerful second choice would be Stronger. That was definitely a message that I needed to send to, you know, the people that were watching online after everything that unfolded. And in all ways, like, I had my hands tied behind my back, and you know, when you're up against a wall and you have no problem, you have no way of getting out of situations, it's really difficult. So the only way, and the only professional way I could do that, is through music and through releasing a message through the music. And I think that was the best way to deal with the situation. So yeah.
Well, I have to ask you this now, and I'm sure this might be a little bit tough for you, but if you were going on your dream tour, who were you going on tour with?
Wow, that is a tough question, but I love that question. I'm a huge Def Leppard fan, so I'm going to say Def Leppard. Like, Hysteria is one of my favorite albums of all time, and like, I think that that album is just like, you know, all killer, no filler. There's no skips on that album for me.
I would have to agree with you on that one. So, the next part of this interview, we take a little break from talking about your career and we do what we call the lightning round, where we just ask a bunch of random questions that don't have anything to do with anything. That's just fun for our listeners, okay?
So much fun.
All right. So, first question. Do you prefer dinner or dessert?
Dinner. I'm a savory person.
So, do you prefer, if you are having dessert, chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate, I think.
Would you choose Poison or Motley Crue?
Motley Crue.
If you were going on a desert island and you could only take 5 albums with you, what are you taking?
Oh, that's so difficult. Hailstorm, Strange Case of. Hysteria by Def Leppard. AC/DC, Back in Black. Um, this is really, really difficult. That's my top 3, but I'm not sure what else I would choose because there's so many.
I mean, those are pretty good records.
Yeah, I have yeah. There are some other good ones. I think Chasing Euphoria by Harum Scarum is an awesome record.
Mm.
Mood Swings, also by Harum Scarum. Like, those are 2 of my favorite records of all time. I think I've named 5, but yeah, 2 of them are by the same band.
That's okay. That's okay. I mean, hey, if I had to answer that question, I'd probably have a handful of Kiss records in there, so
Oh yeah, Kiss as well. It's really difficult, isn't it? Trying to pick your favorite records. Very difficult.
absolutely, absolutely. And here's gonna be another difficult one where it's always split down the middle when I ask this one. So, Ozzy or Alice Cooper?
Aussie.
Alright. Are you a horror movie fan?
No, I don't think I could ever sit through a horror film, or if I did sit through a horror film, I would have my eyes closed and then nightmares for the rest of my life.
Alright, fair enough. What is your favorite food?
Ooh. When I go to the States, and I go to, more specifically, Chicago, there's this deep dish pizza they have, and it's probably one of my favorite foods of all time. I typically love Mexican food as well, and I
Mm.
feel like you guys do it so well in the States.
You know what's funny is the next question I was gonna ask you was gonna be if you prefer Chicago or New York style pizza, but I think you just answered that.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, that's great. That's awesome. Favorite movie of all time?
A little bit corny, but The Notebook.
I did not expect that.
Yeah, it's maybe my my very like soppy musical brain.
Fair enough. How about favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show? Ooh. Hmm, that's a difficult one. The other day I was wearing a Seinfeld shirt, which is
Oh,
what I'm gonna go with.
love Seinfeld. And favorite cartoon?
Snoopy. So like anything
All right.
Charlie Brown, Peanuts. My dog's called Snoopy, and when I was in Japan, like playing in Japan, fans would bring me like massive plush toy Snoopy things, and I would like freak out because I'm obsessed with Snoopy. Any cartoon though, like I'm the biggest Disney fanatic ever.
Mm. I'm gonna second the Snoopy thing though. I love Snoopy and the Peanuts cartoons. I love them.
Yeah.
So let's get back to your album, Bittersweet. Um, as far as upcoming shows, we already talked about the Monsters of Rock cruise, which we'll plug again, of course. But aside from that, what's the tour looking like? Do we know yet, or is it too early?
We do know. I'm not allowed to speak about it yet, but I have so many touring plans for 2026. I'm literally going to be abroad majority of next year, which is
Hmm.
wild. And I can't wait to tell people what we've got in store because it's so much fun. And yeah, I guess when I was going through some really rough things, like I think everything I like to think that everything happens for a reason, and I'm really excited for the future because it's looking really super bright, and I'm just so grateful for everyone's support and the position that I'm in for touring next year. It's going to be so much fun.
I love it. I love it. And if we can, I would like you to also plug your social media, and anybody who doesn't already follow you, I would like them to do so. So let's get that out there too.
Well, you can follow me at Cassidy Paris Official on Instagram. It's Cassidy Paris. There's a band page on Facebook, CassidyParis.com on for my website, and Cassidy Paris, like just anywhere, like on, I have a TikTok page as well, pretty like reasonably new as well to TikTok. So yeah, I'm super stoked for the support online that I've been getting. It's been a wild couple of months for me.
That's incredible. And again, I do want to say that I'm looking forward to watch you perform on the Monsters of Rock cruise.
Thank
And
you.
thank you for taking the time out of a busy day to have this conversation with me and to plug your album, Bittersweet, that I'm also very much looking forward to hearing.
Thank you so much, Robbie. I really appreciate it. It will be great to catch up at the Monsters of Rock cruise.
Absolutely. And now that we got that loud motorcycle coming through in the middle of this podcast, that's a good
Yeah.
place to wrap this up. So again, thank you so much. And when the next album comes out, we'll do this again, and we'll plug that album too, because I know that you're already working on it. So
That sounds awesome. I would love to do that. Thank you so much for your time as well.